Hey, happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? My mic, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Brace yourself. So that's about normal. Hey, happy Saturday. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your Saturday to be here. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I'll start with weather. Weather this week in the Midwest, it's getting warm and going to get warmer. It's been hanging around 80. I think we had one 90-degree day, and I think it's going to be 101 here on Monday. So it's too warm too fast. This is like late July weather. But that's how it goes in Minnesota. It's if you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes. So hey, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're also a returning viewer, thanks for being here again. I appreciate it. If you're new, it's pretty open, pretty loose. We talk about things we're working on in our home lab, things that we're working on at work, things we're excited about, things that we're struggling with, and we just kind of toss it in chat and talk about that. Pretty open, pretty loose. Thanks for being here. I think the only other ground rule is it's roughly about an hour, so not too long. I try to stick to an hour. So I started a little bit late, I'll end a little bit late. And then if you want to talk some more, I think afterwards we usually have an after party in Discord, so you should totally join Discord now if you want, because we jump in voice afterwards and talk about all kinds of stuff. I've been titling it the after party, so so that's where the after party is. So again, thank you so much for being here. So much going on this week. I'll get into follows and subs. There were quite a few before we started. But yeah, really busy week for me, especially probably busy for you. As you guys know, we launched this thing called 100 Days of Home Lab, and it's really an opportunity for people to spend 1 hour a day to focus on their home lab and to get excited and work on something maybe you've been putting off for a little while. And at the same time, bring people together and bring them together in this community, and kind of using this hashtag if you want to bring people together to share experiences, to share either struggles or wins or what have you. But at the end of the day, it's really to get people excited about this space. As you know, I'm excited about this space. I've been excited about this space for a long time. So anyways, that aside, because that was launched, all of a sudden, people started reaching out to me and asking me, hey, how would you like to be on the HomeLab Show with Tom and Jay? And I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this day for about a year. And so, yeah, earlier this week, I was on the HomeLab Show with Tom and Jay. It was super fun. I love talking to Tom and Jay. They're just a wealth of knowledge and super nice super nice people. I like nice people. And then couple days later, Alex from the Self-Hosted Show reached out to me and said, hey, Chris Fisher, our co-host, is sick this week. How would you like to be on the show and kind of fill in for him? Not that I could fill in for him. Those are big shoes. But how would you like to be a guest? But at the same time, it's only going to be me and you. And I was like, okay, are you ready for a rabbit hole? And so we got to chat quite a bit on the Self-Hosted podcast, which was pretty awesome and kind of different for me for a little bit. I've never done a podcast before. I mean, I do live shows on Twitch. I do recorded shows, VOD, video on demand on YouTube. I do, rough content everywhere. Never did a podcast. So there were all these things I don't know about, like when you state your name and what you do and those kind of things. I mean, Alex, he was great, but still, I'm used to just like interaction and not stopping and just let it roll. But he's got it down. He's a pro. So was Chris. So anyways, that was super interesting. And then, yeah, so anyways, whirlwind of stuff. I think I'm on day 7 of my 7 days of home lab. Now, I just fixed a whole bunch of stuff I thought I fixed on day 5, and then bled into day 6, and something's still not fixed from day 6, so it might be today too. So you know how that goes. I mean, that's just how it goes. And one other thing I just wanted to also mention too, I know a lot of people, have a lot going on. It's summertime. I get it. Yeah, and a lot of people ask me, do you have to start your 100 Days of Home Lab now? The answer is no, absolutely not. You can start your 100 Days of Home Lab whenever you want, whenever you have time. And really, it's, you want to be a little bit, have a routine or a schedule, but if something comes up and you can't do it, you can't do it. But anyways, a lot of people ask, hey, you're already started, is it too late to start? No, it's not too late to start. You can start anytime you want. I think one of the biggest measures of success for me is if I get to my 100 days and someone's on their day 1, then I feel like that's a success. So anyways, I feel like I've been on a little mini tour this week, just talking about it. So I'm glad people are excited about it. I'm so glad people are excited about it. And one other thing I want to clear up too, like if you aren't comfortable sharing on social media, you absolutely don't have to. You know, you could write it in your own notes. We have channels dedicated to it on Discord, which is also a great place to do it. And the mods thought of this. You create your own threads, and they're working out great. I seem like a hater of threads sometimes, but sorry, guys. But anyways, we have threads. They're working out great, and it's a place where you can just jot your notes for your day. You got other people joining in if you want. And then at the end of the day, if you don't want that content anymore, delete your thread. So, but if you don't even want to do that, text a friend. Text a friend. Anyway, so let's get into it. So real quick before we get started, I would love to know what you guys are talking about. If you have something interesting you'd like to share, throw it in chat. If you're struggling with something, if you just started on something, if you want to throw what day of 100 days of HomeLab in chat and talk about it, let's talk about it. Because I have, I say this a lot, but I really do get a lot of my ideas for my videos, or even things that I do and apply to my HomeLab from you. So if you want to give your 100 days of HomeLab status update in chat, that would be fantastic for me too, because then I get to get some ideas. As Carolyn would say, I'll steal all the best ideas from you. He was totally trolling me on the video, so he's got great ideas. I don't think he needs any help with ideas, because he's got great ideas. So thank you so much for the follow, which is a good segue. Let's get into follows. Let's get into subs. Let's get into all the events that happened right before I think I started. So let's see. Oh man, my shoulder. I was just at a kid's birthday party just right before I got here, throwing the football. I haven't thrown a football in a while. I was like, oh, and it was a mini football too. So I was overthrowing it. And I'm like, oh, my arm, getting old. Techno, thank you so much for the Prime sub. 22 months, dude. Almost 2 years. Let's go, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's call them all out. Yeah, lights are working. Today is a good day. Let's start down here. Let's start back here. Seebs Sandwich, CBN Sandwich, I think. Thanks for the sub. Thank you so much. It's Braven. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Murph 9000. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Bender not Rodriguez. Rodriguez. Maybe it is spelled a little bit different, but thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Xavius, 100 bits. Cheer. Thanks, dude. How's it going, man? How's your HomeLab going? I know how it's going. You were working on documentation and you're getting all that figured out. Man, you were just learning so much. I think I gave you like 1 or 2 pointers, and all of a sudden you have a GitHub account. You're pushing up code and you're writing your documentation. Nice work, man. Mark DeMarco, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Aka, or AKA Neil. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Waffle Sand Coffee today. Waffle Sand Coffee today. I like it. Thanks for the sub, Prime sub. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Crack Kitty, what's up, man? How's it going? Prime, 9 months. Let's go. Only 9 months? Feels a lot longer than that. Thank you. No. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. 9 months. Hey, that's a long time. That is a long time to be subscribed. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Xavius D, resub, tier 1, 7 months. Not as far. Hey, thank you. Real quick, Xavius D, resub tier 1, 7 months. Not as far behind. Crack, but 0 time on VLANs. I win. Hey, that's the head of VLANs you're talking to. You better watch it. Thank you so much for the resub. Let's see. JJ Pro Play. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. AMD Thulbull87. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Spartan. Thanks for the follow. Ravit Pudi. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Takano, called that one out, but thanks for the Prime sub, 22 months. Let's go, man. Tech Writer Andrew, thanks for the Prime sub, 6 months. Thanks so much. Tech with Andrew. I don't know how I got Writer out there. How's it going, man? Good to see you. And Clever Compiler. Hey, thanks for the sub, tier 1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. Hype Train, let's go, man. Let's go. So a couple of things you might notice is different in my chat. I think last week we had, I've given up on like trying to do chat the way I used to do it before. Well, I've been changing over time, but chat might look different on the screen. Same chat, it's just gonna roll. And then I'll bring up chat that I have in this other view I have that we'll talk about. So if you're new here, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go line by line, top to bottom. We run out before the time runs out. I apologize. I'll try to get to everyone I can. And real quick, Binky Smalls, I like it, like Biggie Smalls reference, like it. Thanks for follow, appreciate it. Welcome. Okay, who was here first? I know who was here first, even though I can't see it on my chat screen because I did all kinds of stuff. I think it was Xavier. So thank you so much for being here first. Appreciate it, appreciate it. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's working. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go. Yeah, Ilu, tell me about it, lol. Salvarius, considering you spent 8.5 of those 9 on VLANs, it's understandable. Yeah, I'm sorry, not troll. Ask any questions you have to Crack Kitty about VLANs. He's an expert. He's just like, he's a VLAN whisperer. And because of that, we call him the head of VLANs in our Discord channel because he's just so knowledgeable. So anytime I have a question about VLANs, I just defer to him. So he's our VLAN whisperer. Serdwick, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Crack Kitty, hurt my feelings. LOL, unlucky you. I don't have feelings. Yeah. Nice. Let's see. That is me. Techno, what are you working on? Google UX design cert in progress. Seems good. Yeah, it does. UX design. So a lot of material design stuff. I'm pretty familiar with material design. I do a lot of front end stuff, and a lot of front end stuff likes to use material from Google. It's what they call it. It's material, similar to what you see on Android and Gmail. Their whole UX and design system is called material. And so I do a lot of stuff on front end, and most front-end people go towards, components that are already built, and a lot of them are either going to be Bootstrap or material from Google, and it's pretty awesome. Microsoft has a pretty good design system too. Glass, I forget what they call it now, but theirs is really nice. I should start using it because yeah, Windows 11 design, UX and design is pretty good, especially if you can bring those components to the web. But good luck, man, getting your cert. That's awesome. Xavier D, that image gallery integrated into Jekyll Chirpy. Getting that image gallery integrated in Jekyll Chirpy might hit you up during the podcast later. The podcast is also what we refer to. I refer to it as the after party. It's also referred to as the podcast because one of the first few times I joined, I heard everybody just talking about different things they were working on, and I was just like, this is great. It's like listening to a podcast. I'm just kind of listening in. Xavier D, it's there, but I don't know how to get the sidebar navigation in. Yeah, I haven't used that component, but I'm sure we can figure it out. Let's see, Chronic. Chronic, I like it. Hey, what's up? I literally just killed my Unraid VM minutes ago. Now I'm fully on proper Ubuntu server, Dockers. Whoa, wow, that's a big jump. That's a big jump. So you went from Unraid and consuming Docker, the Docker engine from there with the UI, to wiping that out and going full Ubuntu, I assume headless, the server version, and then installing Docker on there and spinning it up. That's quite the leap. That's awesome. Probably, I'm not saying it's awesome you left Unraid, but that's awesome that you're at a point where you're saying, hey, I don't need a UI to do this. I'm going to try to manage this through a terminal. So congratulations. That's awesome, Chronic. Hey, Xavier. Hey, thanks for the 101 bits. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Salvarius, nuking the PvE cluster as well and working on the playbooks to spin it back up again. That is awesome. That's deep down the rabbit hole. I'm scared to do that. Not scared, but I don't have a lot of hardware to do that. So that's awesome. I guess I don't even need hardware. I could do nested virtualization just to get it right and test it out. Do Proxmox within Proxmox and test it out that way. Because I don't need to really run virtual machines, but I could write my playbook that way. But that is awesome, man. That is next level. Because doing bare metal playbook stuff is awesome. Awesome, man. Congratulations. Set. I'm going with Set X. I can't pronounce it, but thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Next series. First build pipeline done after installing Jenkins. on a bare old laptop. I like it. So Jenkins, awesome. So you're running Jenkins on an old laptop to be your build server, and you built your first pipeline. Awesome. Once you get pipelines going and then you get stuff in that pipeline, you just accelerate so fast from there. It's just like you go from this much acceleration to all of a sudden it's like this, up and to the right. You seriously do, because then it's as quickly as you can you can write your code or write your manifest and push them up to having those build automatically, to maybe get them spun up and deployed automatically. It is awesome. It is awesome. Then you're going to scale wide. You're like, okay, I did it this one time. Now let's do that 15 more times with 15 more services or infrastructure. It's so fun. So fun once you get to that point. Once you have your pipeline end to end, it's just smooth sailing. Wow. Then you can focus on the real problem, the problem you're trying to solve, or the service you're trying to deploy. Techno, other than that, I'm debating moving my TrueNAS off my main server and onto the Intel Core 2 Duo machine because of how much RAM it uses. Yeah. RAM is, it's one of the first things you run out of on other machines. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And RAM is not cheap right now. MNGAP. I can always count on Tim for a little push of encouragement to get back to my hobby and clean out the cruft and make things pristine in my rack again. All right, awesome. I'm glad you're encouraged. That was part of my goal, was encouraging people to do things. That's hard to measure. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's hopefully this kind of lit a spark. And again, like I said earlier, if you can't do it now and you can't start, you got a trip coming up, totally fine. Start later. I would actually love it if people started on my last day, because that, again, means this thing was a success. So that's how I'm measuring it. We'll have to wait till day 100. but start today if you can. Keep doing it, because I love seeing it. I love going through that hashtag and just seeing what people are working on. Kai, well, hello there. Kai, what's up, man? How's it going? This is, I assume, Kai from Discord. Kai Leet. How's it going? Ticano, almost forgot, debugging an Asus Tinkerboard running Home Assistant. Randomly shuts down and not sure if it's a board or OS issue. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to track down. Tough one to track down. It's going to be digging in logs, I think. Digging in logs, because randomly shutting down, I mean, is it hard locked? Is it really shutting down? Like, is it powered off, or is it hard locked to where everything's locked? Because those generally are a sign of hardware. But yeah, leaning towards board issue. I hear you. Kai, I'm dying trying to fix traffic. LOL. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to wrap your head around. But once you get it, it's kind of rinse and repeat. So once you get one route and service and rule and maybe middleware and certificate and your DNS set up, once you do that once, then you have your playbook to do it again and again and again, and it gets easier. It gets easier after that, because you can, you can find, do a find all in your editor or even in your terminal and look for, certain tokens in your manifest and say, oh, that's where that's how I did that. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, I just 30 minutes before I started, I deployed a new route for my health check for my Twitter bot. Because I got it up and going, wrote the code real quick in about 15 minutes. I wrote the code really fast. I was like, this can't work first time. It did. Rarely happens. It's like after you build a PC, is it going to power on? That's how I feel with my code. Because sometimes I'll just write and not test, and then test afterwards. Anyways, I did the same thing. I was like, okay, I've done this at least 100 times, creating a route for traffic, getting a certificate for it, the whole 9 yards. And it took me 3 tries. So you're not alone. It is tough, but you'll get it. And once you get it, then just keep at it. Dr. Cuddle in the house. Dr. CTL. I'm going with Dr. Cuddle because it just sounds wholesome, maybe, or weird. Techno Tim, loved your appearance in self-hosted podcast. Thank you. Yeah, I was just talking about it earlier. Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely different. Definitely different. I brought this energy to the podcast, and only after the podcast, when I'm listening to it, did I realize, like, that's probably not the energy you bring to a podcast. So again, it's funny. It's silent. I'm going with silent cuddle. Silent. We got a Dr. Cuddle. Now we have a silent cuddle. I like it. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, I brought this energy to the podcast, and who I'm sorry, that's kind of just me when I talk. And then I realized afterwards, I probably should have brought my YouTube energy to a podcast, because most people are listening, and relaxing or driving, and then they're hearing this guy like super excited about all kinds of Kubernetes stuff. They're probably like, whoa, this is way too much. I listen to this to relax, not to get hyped up. So thanks. Note to self, but who knows? It's weird with podcasts too. Like there's zero feedback. You just put it out into the world, and like you commented here, but if they're in, I don't know. It's a weird feedback loop, if any, if you know what I mean. YouTube, I get comments. Twitch, I get people in chat. Twitter, I get comments or likes or retweets. Podcasts, you just kind of put it out there. And I guess if you own the podcast, you just kind of measure it from like, how many plays did I get? Where did the attribution? Like, where did people find this and get to here? How much did they play? But not a commenting system, and I don't know. Does that exist? It should exist. Or you should just put your podcast on YouTube. That's what I think. Xavier's D, Techno Tim, did you post out on the 100 days Twitter yet live? No, I didn't. I've been trying to be pretty good about the hashtag. Like, I created the hashtag, but now it can be used by anyone, anywhere. I don't own it. I would love more people to use it. I've been trying to just, if things are absolutely related to it, I'm going to use it. But anyone can use it any way they like, for good or for bad. So far, it's been for good. But if it's for bad, then, Twitter will come after you. So, but no, I didn't about live. I usually don't tweet out that I'm live. I don't know why. I just got into this habit of not, and letting people discover that I am, or remembering that I am. So yeah, nah, I didn't. Good point though. Maybe I should. Picano, I need to set up traffic or some other reverse proxy for internal use. Yeah, you do. I mean, if you want easy button, air quotes, easy button, NPM proxy manager. You get a GUI. It's relatively straightforward. And you'll feel comfortable, at least more comfortable than you will with traffic if you've never done traffic. You're going to go to the traffic route. It's nice because it's declarative. You may or may not like that, but things are in YAML. You can store those in a Git repo or wherever you want. It's repeatable, and you apply stuff, and it's for me, it's great. But if you've never done that before, it's tough. So, and I'm not saying you don't have a UI with traffic. I mean, you could be using Portainer, but you're filling out forms. But at least in Nginx Proxy Manager, once you spin up the container, everything else is done within the UI. So if you want an easy reverse proxy, that's a way to go. If you just like, hey, I don't care about this reverse, proxy business. I just want certificates and some CNAME lookups and route to my web servers. It's great. But if you want to go a little bit deeper, yeah, traffic, I think it's a great choice. Porygon 0. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Salvarius, Kai, hop into Tim's Discord and discuss. Yeah, and we can probably help out. I don't know if this is the Kai from Discord already. So that's we're totally disconnected. But maybe it is. Maybe it's not. If it's not, I'm sorry. Cadis. Give me the winter weather. Oh, the winter weather here. Yeah, the winter weather here. Yeah, it's the other way. It's actually not wait 15 minutes. It's more just like wait 8 months. Wait, you don't like the weather now? Wait 8 months, and in 8 months it might thaw. So there's the winter report. That's an easy one. It'd be like being the weatherman in Hawaii. If I was the weatherman in Hawaii, you know what I would say? Today, mostly sunny, a chance of rain, high of 82. And if you said that 99% of the time, you would be right. So very, very, temperate for the location. Very easy. I'm there already. All right, so that might be the Kai. All right, I was putting 2 and 2 together. Crack Kitty, on the HomeLab front, iLood and the team completely fixed my traffic certs with auto renew issues. Nice work, guys. It might not be a surprise. It couldn't have been DNS, and it was DNS. Yeah, it was. It's always DNS. Kirua, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Let's see. Schwa. I had a problem with this one last week, but I'm going with Schwa. until you tell me different. I'd like to hear about your day today, tech stack at work. Here. I don't know how much I can say. That's work, and it's, I mean, it's not like it's any big secret. But in the cloud, a lot of Kubernetes and a lot of writing code. I mean, I can't, if this was a work thing, I might be able to, but I don't know how much I can say about work stuff. I mean, we are a tech company, so we do a lot of tech and we use a lot of tech. We're 99.9999% in the cloud. There's one thing that's not in the cloud, but our tech stack is like most startup tech stacks. Think of all open source. Think of all the code you need to write for back end, front end, even for apps. And, what stack would you use? I can't say a ton just because it's work, and I try to keep that stuff separate. Let's see. James Simmons. Sorry, it's a scratch. I've got something going on my nose. It's a scratch. It's not a pick. Struggling through local certificate signing with Harvester, I bet. Something goofy and probably an easy fix that I am just not seeing. Yeah, that's tough. I haven't done anything with cert signing in Harvester. I mean, I use their self-signed one. I assume you're trying to use your own, or yeah, that's tough. Tell me more, or in Discord, James. But yeah, I wish I could help, because I ended up putting mine behind my reverse proxy. That's pretty much what I do with everything. If you have a self-signed cert, great. But I'm still going to put a reverse proxy in front of you so I don't get certificate warnings. Salvarius, wait, only 1 hour a day? I am months ahead. Yeah, but you get no credit. You get no credit, Salvarius. So no, you can have credit if you want. If that were the case, I think I'm on like I'd probably be on day, I don't even know. I mean, 365 days, 10 years ish. 3,000? Day 3,000, I'll go with it. Let's see. ISO, YAML on my drive. Which one of you has wrong indentation on line 45? Oh, that was me. That was me. That's me a lot lately. Yeah, I think you guys saw I was doing a ton of YAML stuff late into the night, and I'm so over it, but at the same time I want to make it right. So anyways, working on something that migrating a whole bunch of stuff and rewriting a ton of YAML, and it's like, oh my gosh, will the YAML ever end? And every time I think I have my YAML right, push up code, boom, right away, YAML int error. I'm like, oh, I'm copying and pasting from another YAML file, and then it's the indent, like you mentioned, because it's white space sensitive. So yeah, I've been there. That's been my life for for about 24, I'd say about 72 hours. Yeah, right. Tell me about it, YAML. Let's see, Housekins. I just heard the podcast. You did great. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, I kind of brought this energy to it. I'm sure they toned me down, and and they compress your voice a lot too on there, because I use this mic. Like as you're hearing me now is how I talked, and so they do a lot of audio processing. But it was interesting because I was like, I'm going to borrow some of this stuff. It's really cool hearing someone else edit either your footage or your audio like a professional doing it, not like me, the noob, that's just like, let's try this new thing you found on YouTube and let it rip, and then it sounds like garbage. But yeah, I learned a few tricks from listening to that show afterwards, and I think I'm going to apply some. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Craig Kitty. Not sure if anyone caught this, but JCX said hi, and she's sorry and won't make it to the stream still. Hey, thank you. Still sick. Hey, JCX, I hope you're okay. You're not here. Hope you're okay. Actually, Peanuts, day 6 here, just switched to my ESXi from Proxmox, and for a Proxmox, the other way around. Nice. And have lots to do. I hear you. I'll extend with a few web projects as well, even though it's not a HomeLab. Yeah, I hear you. That kind of came up on the podcast too. Like, what is the line between, HomeLab and self-hosting and production at home? And it kind of gets mixed in. And I mentioned in that interview that the two terms have kind of coalesced. But at the end of the day, hopefully you have a separate space for your HomeLab stuff, whether that be a handful of virtual machines that you actually tinker and break stuff with, and then you have a handful of virtual machines that are your home production that you don't tinker and break stuff with. But mine is mixed. Mine is mixed. I'm not gonna lie. Mine is totally mixed. And somehow I try to keep it all straight. So, but yeah, I hear you. Lex Parism. What's up, how's it going, Lex? Xavier's D. I think that's waffles and coffee. I like it. I have no idea what I said, but I thought it was so weird. Oh, I said waffle sand coffee. I think that's what I said. Oh, glasses. I'll blame it on glasses. That's an easy out. Sacha Smart. Here we go again. Sax Smart. That's what I'm going with. Dude, congrats. So happy for you. Just got my HomeLab refined and set up a reverse proxy and added Tailscale and OpenVPN this week. That's awesome. Take the rest of the week off. Not kidding. That is awesome. That's huge. That's huge. If you just, tighten things up in your HomeLab, set up a reverse proxy and added Tailscale and OpenVPN, woo, you could probably take a couple days off. Nice work. Destro Camille. The 100 Days of HomeLab is going to be a YouTube series or just a challenge? Hey, that's a good question. Yes. Yes, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how or when or what or how this is going to live on. I think it's going to live on. I hope it will. It's a challenge for now. I'll be releasing some content soon that'll help you along the way, as I always do, as I try to, and as I have in the past. I would love for it to be a series. I would love to spend some time with each person individually, and kind of sprinkle that in with some stuff coming up. We'll see. I would love it. But they're all busy people. They're busy people. And I was very fortunate to get, 30 minutes of their time for them to record a video for me. So yeah. Let's see. Hi, Matthew McConaughey. All right. Xavier's D, yuppers. Let's see. Salvarius, Troll Crack Kitty. Yes, sir. Please do. Let's see. But Troll Crack a little too. Yeah, for sure. Xavius, oh my God, I'm rolling. Crack is gonna hate us all. Yeah, he's gonna love us. I mean, like I said, he's the VLAN whisperer. That's the thing. If you can have a technology whisperer, that would be Crack Kitty. Innovated Kaiju. Hi. What app is best for home use? What app is best for AP? Okay, I was like, app? Lots of apps. For 1 gig fiber. Stay well. Thank you, Innovated Kaiju. Is it Kaiju? Yeah, sorry. That was the glasses moment right there. It depends. It depends. And it depends sounds like the best non-answer because it kind of is. But it really depends on if you have one or not. If you're in an ecosystem already or not. I tend to go with Unify. I think they're rock solid. Even people that aren't in the Unify ecosystem end up getting a Unify AP and then doing whatever else they want to do with their network, knowing that the Unify APs are solid products. I mean, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in my tiny house. One's in the garage, one's a bridge. I have them everywhere. I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why, but Unify is going to be a great choice. I mean, you won't go wrong. I mean, they're solid, have the latest tech. They have a great network software to kind of SDN, but not fully SDN, but a great UI to manage these access points. And not to mention firmware updates all the time that could or may not break stuff. It's broken some stuff for me, but that's how software goes. And many others. And then there's TP-Link. TP-Link, I think Amada is the other one that a lot of people go for. You're going to save money there, but it's going to be very familiar. So I think either of those two are great if you're going to dedicated APs. Those are the only two that I've really had any exposure to. I had some Ngenius ones way back in the day. I'm talking like 10 years ago that I used that were great, but ever since I bought a Unify one, that's kind of what got me into the ecosystem. So I think those are a loss leader for them. They price them low, relatively low, to get you in the ecosystem, and then you totally geek out like I did with their whole ecosystem. So, but those are the two I would recommend. I'm sure a lot of people in our Discord community have a lot of experience with a lot of others. Mine's very I don't want to say narrow, but you know, I've had limited experience with any other access points. So I don't want to recommend something I either haven't heard other people recommend based on their experience, or that I don't have firsthand experience for. So not that I think they're the greatest, very few that I have had experience with, but even that I think is kind of telling because I haven't moved off them yet. There were a couple nights where I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But you'll have that with software. Yeah, if you're not breaking stuff, you know, you're not moving fast enough. That's wrong. But but at the same time, you know, you start to worry about some of the pieces of hardware you have that haven't had firmware updates in a year or two. Those are the ones to worry about. The ones where I get them every 2 weeks and they mess something up every now and then, I'm totally fine with it. Maybe that's me being empathetic towards software developers. But at the same time, to me, that says this company still cares about that product. So I'm okay if you break something every now and then. I mean, don't break stuff all the time, but just keep pushing me updates, because if a day turns to weeks, turns to months, turns to years where I'm not getting firmware updates from you, that's a signal to me to saying you're going to discontinue this product, because there's no way there hasn't been any bugs introduced since the last release. Anyways, I'll stop going on and on about that, but updates are good. That's why I love updates. A lot of people don't like updates. You moved my cheese, you broke this, you broke that. To me, that's a signal to say that company cares about that product, and keep going. Keep pushing updates on me. Alfie Truss, all hail the VLAN King. That's right, Crack Kitty. He is. He's so good. Thanks. See, he's so humble too. He's so humble. See, he's so humble. Just a little thanks, and he's like, yeah, I got this. He really is a wizard when it comes to that. Skill Point. Hi, Techno Tim. Thanks for the 100 days of HomeLab. Hey, no problem at all. Started designing a wedding for my first. See, glasses. Started designing and welding, not a wedding, welding my first 19-inch, because I was like, how do you weld a wedding? I want to go. First 19-inch 22U rack to get started. Overkill. I don't think, well, yeah, if you're welding your own, but maybe not overkill, overkill. I hear that a lot, but what is overkill? I mean, is 40 terabytes of storage overkill? Is, whatever. I mean, we all do stuff that can be seen as overkill from the outside, but if you're passionate about building your own rack, and fabricating your own, and you can weld, why not apply that and say, I built this? I would love to be able to do that instead of saying, I bought this. I would love to say, I built this. I think a lot of people would love to say, I built this rather than I bought this. So not overkill to me. Not overkill to me. Ilude, Unify is liked by many around here. TP-Link, yeah, all right, I got him right, is making roads through among more and more people. Yeah, I totally agree. Those are my 1 and 2s. And I will be transparent. I haven't had a lot of experience with TP-Link APs, but I hear so many good things about them from the people in the community that I feel like I can actually recommend that one. Let's see. Moisen Meister, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Clam Security, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Is that like Clam AV Security? Clam Scan? It's been a while, but how's it going? I hope it is. I hope that would be awesome. Ilude, which model? All right, you guys are figuring that out. Let me see. Setsin. Call me Sam. Oh, thank you. That one's a tough one. CETXN. I got the TV part. Sam. All right. Sam. When I see that, it's Sam. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, you guys are figuring that out, and I don't, it's hard for me to see that. So currently rounding up all the trinkets, putting them into my new StarTech cabinet. CBN sandwich. Awesome. 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 I think you StarTech, or yeah. All right. I like that you call them trinkets. Trinkets. So you like your servers and stuff are trinkets, or do you mean like real trinkets? I'll go with servers. It sounds, I'm totally dumbing down my servers. Yeah, I got a few trinkets in here. No, but that is awesome. New StarTech cabinet. Awesome. Awesome. Great brand for that. Ilude, I use Nano HDs. Yeah, but probably overkill for most home use. Lights are great for most people's homes. Yeah, I have a 6 Pro. I have a 5 Pro. I don't have a Nano HD. I have a 6 Lite, and we have a Nano HD at work, but yeah, mine are overkill. I mean, they can service like 1,000 clients, connected clients, and I'm getting close to 100, which is crazy. It's crazy. Last time I checked my DHCP and wireless clients, I was right around, I think, 89, 90 machines. So pretty awesome, but pretty scary at the same time too. Let's see, Destro, Camille. Why read community comment by comment? Most are just things and minor comments, not questions really. Well, I just read that one. Deal with it. Because stick around for a while, you'll understand. What about the long range AP from Unify? Is it good? You know, you're asking iLoot that. I had a long range AP. I didn't find it to be really any better than the normal one, unless you're truly doing long range, like you really want to adjust your timings to be able to have someone connect at that very far range. It just doesn't always mean more coverage and better coverage for the people who are near and the people who are on the edge. It's really going after people that are truly, truly on the edge. But those things, you can hear some coil whine coming through them. I mean, that pumps out some energy. Part of the reason why I got rid of it, because I mean, I could hear coil whine on mine, which was kind of weird. You know, when I stood underneath it, I'm like, my brain is probably getting scrambled right now. Oh, let's see. Aspar, Aprashar, run off a live OS to determine if it's hardware, like Linux in Linux Live. Great suggestion. Great suggestion. Yeah, 100% great. So this is going back to the comment for Takano saying, I don't know if it's hardware or software. My machine keeps locking up. Aprashar says, run off a live CD, do some testing. If it locks up there, it's got to be hardware. Fantastic suggestion. I should have thought of that, but I'm glad you didn't, because then you commented it. So thank you so much. Let's see. Skill point. I use the Linksys 3200 ACM with OpenWRT. Yeah, great one too. I loved OpenWRT. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Necros, CTL. Oh no, I know it's control. I know that CTRL is control. Because I say coop control all the time. But some people say coop cuddle. There's a whole entire community of people that say they pronounce CTL as cuddle. And so eventually morphed into cuddle. So some people say coop cuddle. So when I see it now, I just say cuddle because it's fun to say. Like Dr. Cuddle and Silent Cuddle. Cuddle. Got it though. I say control, but every now and then I'll slip a cuddle in there just to get a chuckle. The Android, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome. Xavieranate. There's a lot going on in that name. Xavieranate, I think. Xavier, you got some competition on names that are hard to pronounce. But when you run the CLI all the time, control starts looking like CTL. Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, kubectl, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I still say cuddle every now and then to get one in there. Let's see. Killed my decommissioned ASUS router with OpenWRT. No clue what happened. Did use third-party firmware all the time, but now it's bricked. Yeah, that stinks. That stinks. But an excuse to get a dedicated access point. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of dedicated access points. I've been doing it for a long time. I used to turn, old Linksys or Linksys or Cisco routers into dedicated access points by using, DDWRT, and it was great. I would dedicate them to that and say, you're just doing an access point, no DHCP, none of that. But once I get dedicated access points, like, I don't even want to say prosumer, but, enterprise, smaller business grade, it was just like, okay, this is what it's all about now. Dedicated one, single, dedicated purpose, and it was awesome. Seagoer, hi, how's it going? Skill point. Wow, actually, that sucks. No way to bring it back to life. It does stink when you brick something. I bricked something before, too, with firmware. It's rare. PC Geek, took me a while to learn Kubernetes somewhat and still learning more. Yeah, man. Yeah, you have been learning a ton, growing a ton. Like, your questions and things you ask me now, I'm like, whoa, he's pretty far down. He's pretty far down the path. I can tell by the questions you're asking, so it's awesome. It's 60s there today. Oh, how I wish, so I could have the windows open. Let's see, Takano, we'll look into that for sure. Then Cloudflare D handles my external traffic, so I just need something easy for internal use. There you go. If you want something easy for external use, I would say go Nginx Proxy Manager, because then you're not struggling with the tool trying to set that up. You're more focusing on your goal or the value you're going to create after you get that set up. So, I mean, a reverse proxy at the end of the day, unless like you build reverse proxies and that's your job, you know, it's there to serve a purpose of you know, translating, you know, of serving out traffic through this reverse proxy with or without certificates. And so, you know, if you have a service you want to stand up, most of the time that's you know, just a hurdle you need to hop over, unless you start liking them a lot. But yeah, I'd say go easy until you want to go hard. Xavier, right? As a person that lives in Hawaii, he is right. Yeah, you know, my brother lives in Hawaii, so that's why I was kind of like I tease him all the time, and like, you know, and I mention it to him, and even when I was there, it was just kind of like, man, the weather people there have like the easiest job until a storm comes, you know. Then they're like, you know, then you know, things get interesting. But for the most part, it'd be like you could almost take the day off, or hey, can you run the same reel from the last 5 weeks? 82 and sunny with a chance of rain in the morning. Clouds will burn off by about noon. That's Hawaii in a nutshell. And it's not bad at all. Volpersandend. Main reason I switched to traffic was getting it to work with Proxmox. There you go. I like it. Chernix, yo. Salvarius, one of the things I miss about the islands. Yeah, for sure. It's nice. My brother lives there. He's pretty lucky. Let's see. No, this is from Actually Peanuts. Would not even load my firmware. I could have a serial console, but I threw it out in frustration. Also, it sat in a drawer for 2 years already, and I live in a small space, so I gained more of the free space back, to be honest. Having a decent AP, so I couldn't get any more functionality. Anyway, yeah, I hear you. I still have, like I said, I still have two of those DDWRTs, old Cisco ones that I use every now and then. I use them when I travel, actually. I'll plug their internet that they give me into that, and then I'll create my own network and then secure it that way, and then VPN in back to home. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice getting things, newer stuff too. But yeah, I've been there too. I've been there with the serial console. That was my first time I ever had to solder something. Was I wanted to use this ingenious device and put DDWRT, and the only way I could load it was through a serial. And to be able to do that, I had to like solder on some wires. It was the first time I ever soldered anything. I was like, guess I'm buying a soldering iron and figuring this thing out. Oh, PC Geek, Tim probably works for Proxmox. No, not at all. Yeah, I know you're kidding. No, I don't. No, yeah, that would be interesting. I feel like that would be deceiving. I feel like that'd be deceiving, making a bunch of tutorial content and acting like I'm independent and doing this, you know, 100% altruistic, and it's like, oh, by the way, I work for them. I feel like that would be a little bit deceiving. Let's see. Dr. Cuddle, Yamalent, seems to pick on everything. It does. Hey, Brackets has subscribed to you. Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you. Thanks, Brackets. Yeah, I agree on Yamalent. Actually, Yamalent is kind of nice because it'll tell you ahead of time that your build's going to fail, but it's still so frustrating. And, you know, I guess that's what my builds are doing too. But they're not linting. They're just like, hey, apply this YAML. And they're like, whoa, wait a second. That's not valid YAML. And it's like, I know why. Got a space here. Alphitros, writing YAML frees up so much time you can have to write even more YAML. That's right. That's like I said, that's been my last 24 hours is YAML and writing tons of templates for YAML that other YAML consumes for build pipelines. It's interesting. Well, it is a nice learning experience because I'm still doing it. But on GitLab you can consume other YAML templates to use in your pipeline, something I've never done before. And when you have 15, 20 repos and you need to make one change in every single pipeline, it kind of sucks. So, you know, I've been putting some time into making all of those pipelines a YAML template and then just import them in GitLab so that in the future, if I need to make changes, I make them in one spot, and the next time it runs, it has the latest pipelines. I broke all my pipelines up. So anyways, it's like trying to apply, you know, some reusability and like some software development like principles to YAML, and it's like, oh, oh yeah. Anyways, YAML for life. Let's see. Abdurum. Techno Tim. Hello, Tim. How are you doing? Smiley face. I'm great. Thank you so much for introducing me to traffic. This can go either way. This can go either way. Let's see. It was a very steep curve getting started as a noob, but now I'm in the position of actually being able to solve problems. Awesome with traffic. I absolutely love traffic. Thanks a lot. Hey, no problem at all. It was new to me. It was new to me when I introduced it on my channel. But I saw that a lot of people who were doing containers were using this thing called traffic spelled weird. And I thought, hey, this is the path of least resistance for me to get certificates and get a reverse proxy up and going. And I knew it worked in both Kubernetes and Docker, like most things do if they work in Docker. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll bite. I think it turned out pretty well. A lot of people, I know it's polarizing because it's tough, it's dense, and it is a lot of things to a lot of different people. But once you get it, I think it's pretty awesome, because once you get it once, you could just rinse and repeat. Copy and paste all that YAML as if you didn't have enough YAML. But at least you can copy and paste and create more YAML versus, you know, the alternative. If you had a UI only, it's go and click all the same things you just clicked, you know, which is totally fine too. But sometimes you're just like, nope, copy and paste this folder, place it there, find and replace this host name with this host name, push, and you got new routes and new certificates. So it's pretty fun once you get to that point. Hey, Colin. Hi, Tim. I enjoyed the surprise of hearing you on Self-Hosted Podcast. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it was a surprise to me too. It was like the day before. Hey, Tim, you got time tomorrow? Let's do this. That was kind of my response. My response was more like, yeah, I'd love to join, love to help. Sorry, Chris is out. Yeah, let me know how I can help. And he was like, I'll ping you about 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. I was like, oh, I guess we're doing this. I have nothing prepared. Does home chemistry count, Mafney? I know. Some people were trolling on Twitter too, like, hey, why did the tech community take over this home laboratory hashtag? You know, I'm trying to, you know, cross dog DNA with alligator. I don't know, but some interesting tweets in there that I found funny. At first I was like, no, actually, you know, it's this thing called HomeLab. You know, I had to put on my sense of humor hat every now and then. And then I wrote the response and I was like, oh, he was joking. So I was like, oh, I get the joke. But it took me a minute. I was like, oh, no, let me explain. It's this thing called home labbing. I know it sounds like laboratories, but it's really like lab, like a computer lab. No. Oh, it was good. Every now and then I have to remind myself, like, don't be so serious, because then people think I'm a serious person. I'm really not. Like, on the inside, I'm not, but sometimes I look like that. So anyways, Mafney, I appreciate it. If you want to tweet about home laboratories and your DNA experiments and chemistry experiments, absolutely go for it. Shake up the algorithm. Abdurum, the first time seeing anybody expressing love for traffic skill point. Yeah, I know. But if you know, your alternatives right now are what? Nginx Proxy Manager if you're doing a lot of stuff at home, or it's plain old Nginx. I know there are other load balancers and reverse proxies in there, HA proxy, all this stuff, and everyone tries to be everything to everyone. But a new cloud native, you know, type of proxy on the block, you know, is traffic. And then, you know, Nginx has always been releasing stuff too. And, you know, I've had my fair share of Nginx configuration files, and you know, it is not fun. It is not fun at all. If you think you hate YAML, try an Nginx config file and you're like, huh? You know, default sites dot what? Conf? And then you get no IntelliSense or no help whatsoever. You just keep applying it and you hope it works. But sure, it makes a lot of sense to a lot of people, but not me. Okay, waffles and coffee. LOL, that's me. Not waffle sand coffee. Put my sense of humor hat on. Waffles and coffee. Hey. Thanks for pointing that out, Xavius. Dr. Cuddle, you get molar mass points, Mafney. Yeah, I like it. Abdurum, traffic is like Vim. You get wrecked at first, but once you understand the flow, it's absolutely insane and powerful. I'm so happy, Abdurum. I'm so happy that you're happy. I'm happy that you're excited about a piece of technology, and that's totally that. I'm happy. That's all I can say. I'm happy about it. Actually, Peanuts, anyone here experience with WireGuard? I had a little bit. I am versed in OpenVPN, but seeing multiple WireGuard clients with different secrets on OpenSense, a pfSense spinoff, gives me headaches. Yeah, I think that's one of the, one of the things about WireGuard that is a little bit challenging is that you have all kinds of clients. I'm sure there are official ones, but there are people who either make them more useful by providing a UI. And there's even different services too. Like there's people, like I forget what it is. Easy, I forget what it's called, but it's WG Easy is one that's the service, which is trying to make it easy and giving you a UI to be able to give people keys to get VPN access to your server. And it's new. And, I've used it. I think it's great. It connects fast. And I like the idea. I think, it has some usability issues like even traffic we talked about earlier. If you've never done all YAML stuff before, cloud native stuff, it feels like a usability issue because you're new to that space. And I think WireGuard is, kind of going through that too, where it's like, we're just waiting for to make it a little bit easier to adopt. But if you've done it before and you got it going, it's great once you have it going. But I could see the barrier of entry, I think for a lot of people is usability. It's not like you can say, okay, someone in my family or, take this and, scan this barcode that comes up in a terminal. And then when that barcode comes up in the terminal, that's your key. And, import this key into this client and it's tough. So I think it'll get there. And it, hopefully, that's a sign that it's starting to become mainstream is when it gets a little bit easier to adopt because it's not something you could recommend to some of your friends to go set up, at home, good luck. Be like telling someone to go set up, traffic, not as hard, but that isn't, focused on tech. That's a big ask, with OpenVPN, you could kind of say, hey, run this installer, and run this app, and do some stuff. Or, hey, it's already on your router. It's already on your ASUS router. It's already on DDWRT. Fill that stuff out, and then you'll get a certificate and put it on, on your client. And, you could generally walk someone through that. WireGuard, not yet, but it is great. Doesn't mean it's bad tech. It's just new tech. Crack Kitty, yeah. Xavius, Aruba. I knew Aruba was coming up. Aruba, yeah. Xavius is a big Aruba fan. Let's see. Skill point. Abdrum. That's a good comparison, probably. I love Vim, so I will give traffic another go. I hate their documentation or lack thereof, though. Yeah, skill point. I can agree. As much as I love traffic, their documentation. So I don't have a problem with them not supplying enough documentation. I have a problem that they supply too much documentation. Because like everything you want to do is all mixed in with every single platform. It's like, hey, you want to create a route? Here's how you do it in Docker. Here's how you do it in Kubernetes. Here's how you do it with a binary. Here's how you do it with TOML. Here's how you do it with YAML. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I just wish I wish they would separate it out. And I get why they do it. They have an API. Their API can be accessed on these different platforms. Here's how you access it on those different platforms. But man, when you're trying to get some stuff done, I agree. And I'm just giving honest feedback if they ever hear this. I would love for their documentation to have more, boilerplate or cookie cutter, easy start guides to say, here's 100% how you do it in Kubernetes. Here's 100% how you do it in Docker Compose, or if you want to do it on Swarm. And leave all the other stacks out of the way, because while that looks great for them because they own the API and that's their product, it's not great for the consumer who's trying to just get some stuff done. And so the person who's just trying to get some stuff done with Docker or Kubernetes doesn't care about any of the other platforms. If you're doing it on Kubernetes, you could care less about how to do it in Docker. So I honestly feel like, I think it's just, information architecture. They just need to restructure their documents because there's a lot of good content there. It's just really hard to find stuff. So I totally agree. You could tell I'm kind of passionate about that because I've run into it a few times myself, but yeah. Takano, looks like he left. I was going to say that the TP Linkomata APs had a slight issue with mine, but was the right amount of channel congestion here. But was the right, yeah, we went through this on Discord. It was late one night when I was saying, hey, try this, change your channels, change this, set this back to default, update your firmware. Never figured out what it was. I didn't hear back. Maybe he did, or I didn't see it. So Techno and budget friendly. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier for sure. All right, y'all. I'm gonna look for mentions and see if I can find some. Only because I want to wrap it up. I want to be mindful of your time, and I'm gonna jump in Discord voice here in a minute too. So the after party, aka the podcast. Salveris, Tim is now cuddling up with this tech. Yeah, I'm CTRLing up with it. Cuddling. Oh, let's see. I'm not really cuddling with it, but I might. If it's a new 48 port switch with, 4 10 gig ports, I might cuddle with it. Let's see. Here we go. Techno. I love yelling that out. For now, I'm just getting Cloudflare D to handle all the external traffic. Oh, yeah, perfect. Since they know what they're doing security-wise, seems good. Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. Yeah, if you're using Cloudflare D, you can use their certificates. You get all the protection for them. 100%. Yeah, go for it. So you need something internal. So yeah, if you want something internal, want something easy, absolutely go for Nginx Proxy Manager. If you wanna, spend a weekend on getting traffic going, go for that too, for sure. All right, guys, I'm kind of down to the end of the road. I just want to make sure I didn't skip. I'm going to peruse. Okay, so hey, thank you so much for being here. Man, thank you all for sharing what you're working on. I love it. Keep pinging me with stuff you're working on because it gives me ideas for, new content. And it also is, I love reading it. It's like tech news, except for it's what people are working on. It's more interesting than most tech news I read anyways. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. There was bits, there was follows, there was subs. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of motivation, and I do appreciate it. Never ever required, but I appreciate it. So thank you. I appreciate it. If you're new here and you're not in our Discord, you should absolutely join our Discord. I think it's been linked a few times. It's also like down there somewhere, or just go to discord.gg/technotim. We're a partner server now, so we have our own URL, which is super fancy. But we talk about a lot of things tech in there. Like I mentioned, a lot of people are putting their 100 days of HomeLab stuff in a very specific channel in their own thread and tracking their own progress as they go, which is pretty awesome. I think it's awesome. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to hop into voice channel. I don't know which voice channel I'm hopping in. Let's see. We'll figure it out when I get there. It looks like people are in Azeroth. I wonder if they pick Azeroth because they like that world the best, or if it's A and it's the first one they see. So I'll be hopping in the Azeroth voice channel here in a little bit. Give me about 5 minutes after the stream, and I'll be in there. And let's talk tech. Again, thank you so much. I'll have something out for you this week, and I'll absolutely be back next Saturday. And man, yeah, thank you for a great stream. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for sharing 100 days of HomeLab stuff. This week has been an incredible week for me in general, just hitting 100K subs, then being asked to be on the HomeLab Show with Tom and Jay, and then asked to be on the self-hosted podcast. This has been really cool. So very unique week for me. Like I said last week, I feel like this party is just keeps going, because I hit 100,000 subs on a Thursday, but couldn't celebrate until Friday, but then didn't stream until Saturday, and then so anyways, the party's just not stopping. So I like it. Let's keep it going, and we will keep it going here in voice chat here in a couple of minutes. So hey, thanks again. I will see you next week, and be good to each other. Take care, folks.